Do you think she remembers in a month or so? Oh, for sure. Because the last couple of times that we have actually had pleasant interactions. So we are kind of friendly. We're not friends, but I've complimented her hair because she had these braids that were like multicolored, and they were very good colors, like the colors chosen. She went with cyan and magenta, and in a way where they were very complementary and like, you know, bright but harmonic colors. A difficult thing to do. So I thought, wow, nice hair. And she was like, thank you, you know. So our prior interactions are all pleasant up until the debacle where she felt like she was going against her morals by giving me the cheese on the chicken. It's not like we interact a great deal or talk a great deal. Those are just about all the interactions we've had. But we were definitely friendly, so it's not like she wouldn't remember. She will either remember the nice guy who gave her a compliment, or she will remember the asshole who who made her put the cheese in the chicken sandwich even when she didn't wanna, you know. So yeah, I'm not sure which one overpowers which, but I know I don't want that conversation again, so I'll avoid it. Which bread option do you get at the Subway? I get the jalapeno cheddar. And who cares if she remembers? Go and get your sub the way you want. That's very macho. That's very macho of you. But I care, clearly, right? Because I don't want to do that. Yeah. I care about how she might feel, but I also care about getting my truth out there. So if I'm confronted with the situation, I'll maybe choose logic or my truth slightly above her pride or ego, especially because I'm technically a paying customer, right? It's like, hey, like if she's doing wrong by the system that she inhabits, then she's doing a disservice to the system. If she insists with other people, for example, that this is not how it's done, then I would have to feel a moral obligation to advocate for those people and make her see that it's fine to put the fucking extra cheese in another location. Because it's just, you know, it just makes sense. So now that it is a problem, arisen, however, there is no realm of possibility where we avoid the situation altogether. So I could go and ask her to do that, but it would be mean, and I don't want to be mean, and I don't want to cause her distress, and I don't want to, yeah. So, yeah, clearly I do. In fact, I care enough that maybe I care even more than about having the extra slice of cheese next time, right? If I were to go, I think if I were to go to that Subway, I would probably be resigned to only getting the normal amount of cheese. I've made my point. If she chooses not to see it, you know, like, it's like, whatever. Or maybe even I wouldn't ask for it, and I would be pleased if she said something like, oh, would you like the tuna's extra cheese on the other one? And I'd be like, oh, now we're friends again type thing, you know, like, oh, she got it type thing. Maybe talked it over with her manager or something. I don't know. But that is an unlikely scenario. I would say most scenarios would be where her opinion of me is unfavorable on the basis that I contested her. And I've been in the service business, and I personally enjoy it, but I wouldn't want to deal with an asshole all the time. Yeah. I fail to see how it's mean. It's mean because prior to the situation, she thought she knew better, and people tend to whenever people make statements, of certainty, especially in their area of expertise. I mean, she's serving the subways, right? She's doing the work. She's the employee. She's technically the authority. So when you challenge anyone in their area of expertise, and I'm not saying that she aspires to be a subway technician, I'm saying whatever we're paying attention to in the present tense, and in so long as we're committed to doing a decent job at whatever it is that we're doing, then the chances are is that you will develop more understandings of the processes than a person outside of it, naturally. So when you contest anyone, especially in their area of expertise, based on logical grounds, they tend to feel diminished sometimes. Yesterday, for instance, there was a viewer legending. He's awesome. Okay, he's great. But he used the word aesthetics. No, he used the word aesthetic improperly. And I feel like I had just more or less reproached them for a different semantical problem or something, something that doesn't really matter much. But I'm not trying to be a dick. You see? So I made it very, very clear, and I made sure that legending knew in this situation, because I appreciate that he's even there to listen to what I'm saying, right? So I wouldn't want to alienate legending in this case. In the same way, I don't like necessarily alienating people. Yeah, like the subway girl. Yeah, there's no need. I walked late into this conversation. There seems to be a dilemma about putting cheese for a sandwich. I'll upload it to YouTube, I think. Paid for 3 subs with cheese. Transfer 1 cheese to a 3rd sub. He paid for cheese. Yeah, it was 2 subs, but yeah, I paid for all that I was getting. And then I also did a thing that is extra mean. I don't know why I did it. Like, it wasn't like a sadistic impulse that I had. It was more that I was trying to make my point. And I'm not sure like if my point got across, but the way that I thought I was trying to make it clearer was by asking for more and more toppings. I got more toppings than I normally get. I didn't get any toppings that I dislike by any means, but I got like a couple that I don't normally get, because normally, I don't know why, whenever I start like adding too many toppings, I start like, whenever I go like past like 3 toppings, I feel like a little bit conscious of the person like doing extra work or something. I don't know, it's weird. I'm like, like 3 toppings seems even like it feels greedy to get more than 3 toppings. But this time I got like 6 toppings. You see, that's not a thought that follows even a logical pattern, but a report of my I'm sure it does, but I can't see it. But it's rather a report of my emotions of as they transpired, right? Like in the moment. It's like I was thinking, like in the moment, I was thinking something like, I'm gonna get more toppings than normal, so that she realizes that I can do that. I don't know. It was something, yeah. It was a change in patterns. She's made my subs multiple times before. So she would have felt the change in pattern when I asked for more toppings. Even if she didn't think about it consciously, or if she couldn't consciously think or say or pay attention and be like, because it's impossible, right? She makes multiple sandwiches per day, per week, whereas I only get them basically from her or one other person, right? So for her, I am a pattern more or less lost in the sea. But for me, it's very clear that I'm getting more toppings than normal. For her to be conscious of that would be almost impossible. But she will get a tingling in the back of her head. You know, she'll get a feeling in the back of her head because her body knows. Her body has made multiple sandwiches for me. And while she doesn't need to keep conscious record of that, there's an intelligence underlying that kind of knows. That's your intuition, your instinct. So if she trusts her instincts, they will tell her, wow, this asshole's getting more toppings or something, or trying to be a dick in some way to make his point. And I was trying to make my point. The pizza place near me has a special on the large pepperoni, and the large cheese pizza ends up costing more. They argue with me all the time when I order the special with no pepperoni. Yeah, I mean that's pretty stupid. But I imagine if you got the special with no pepperoni, maybe it wouldn't be the same as just a cheese pizza, or is it the exact same base? Like, I wonder if they add extra cheese on the cheese pizza or something like that. But maybe not. Tell them to give you the pepperoni on the side. Yeah, you can do that. In her mind, she has to, and that might feel uncomfortable to her. She works there, though, so how can you be sure? What, that her thinking is flawed? Vernev said her thinking is flawed then. And Alex says she works there though, so how can you be sure? So there are rules that are too stupid, right? So if that was a rule, it would be very stupid of a rule to have. Does that make sense? Because you can get around it using the rules. Because you can ask for cheese on the side. In so long as I can ask for cheese on the side, the rule doesn't really, it's a stupid rule. So her thinking in adhering to a stupid rule, if it was a rule, which I don't think it is, would be flawed. Yeah, like inherently flawed because there's a very obvious fast way around it. And all it does is cause more jams.